Good evening. Welcome to Encounters, the late night spiritual #1 UFO talk show on social media. We're a little bit late, 31 minutes to be exact. Normally on 11 p.m. Eastern. 30 minutes late, no big deal. So 30 minutes, hopefully you're still physically awake and joining us on the show here tonight at Encounters. Hey, Marinee, welcome to the show. Jan, welcome. Arlene, good to see you. Jake, Anna, Scott Hammonds. Hey, Scott. Castillo, I think it is. Nancy Burke. Ben's Place. Good to see everybody coming in here. Scott Davis. All the people. Desert Bling. Hey, Desert Bling. Good to see you, Desert Bling. I like that name. It's a good one. Thomas Gambino. Thank you for the heart, Thomas. We appreciate it. Always a good thing. Lewis, thank you for the likes. Hey, L1NZ1. Thomas, thank you for the bracelet. We appreciate that too. Kilowatt Electric. Oh, that's a good name. Kilowatt Electric. I like that name. Pamela Williams. Shell Bell. Thank you for the follow. Darren Smith. Welcome. Louis Perez. Welcome to the show, Louis. Kelly Lehigh. I'm just, as we're just getting into the show here, I'm looking at names. Matt. We have Matt in here on Encounters, user 288. Shell Bell, thank you. Star Runner, Infinite. Good to see you. Anchor Ann, welcome, Anchor Ann. Always. Can you inbox me when you're done? I will definitely try to do that, for sure. Hello from Atlanta, Georgia. Hey, Louis. Welcome, Atlanta, Georgia. David Schroeder. Hey, good morning. Actually, good. Well, actually, technically, it is not morning yet. It's just 11:30 p.m., 11:34. Good to have everybody with us on Encounters. Hope you got to see our radio show earlier today. Pamela Ann Masson. Welcome, Pamela. Paul 345. Good to see you, Paul. Hey, Mercury Man. Welcome to the show up there in Vermont. Busy D. That's a good one. 477. Welcome to the show. And we're going to have another good show. Mad Dog. Good to see you. Maddie G, I think it is. Hey, Mercury Man. Good to see you, brother. Hey, Arizona. Hey, David. J. Hey, J. How's J doing on numbers? J has 125 followers, so we need to get them up to 200. We're doing well. Tiffany. Hey, Tiffany. And we had some great pizza tonight. We have good pizza in Connecticut. So we ended up having one of the number one pizza places here in Connecticut, the home of great pizza. Connoisseur, welcome. Did you see new UFO footage out of Columbia shot by a pilot? Not yet. Where is that footage located? I'd like to take a look. Hey, Kate Angel. We're doing well. I hope you're doing well too, Kate. Let's see. Charlie, welcome, Charlie, to the show. Yanni. I'm just looking at the names really quickly. Construction Girl, thanks for the follow. Carol, Susie Q, good to see you. I think it's Zoinik or Zoink. Zoink to you. Zoinks to you, I think it is. Hey, Richie, welcome. I am Josh Buddhist. Namaste. I like that name. I'm Josh Buddhist. Hey, Meriwether, good to see you. We're going to have a nice show tonight. So we have some good New Haven pizza. If you're in Connecticut, you've heard about New Haven. They have there's like 3 pizza places. Well, there's more than 3, but there's 3 that are really, since the 1920s, been around, or 1930s. And we went to what they call Modern Pizza. And it's a very good pizza, thin crust. It was just phenomenal. You ate so much pizza. We ate the whole pie. Well, I didn't eat the whole pie, but we split the whole pie with 3 other people. I can see it on Instagram. Okay, I'll have to check it out. Oh, it was really good. Beyond being from Mars, one of the things I do enjoy is good pizza. Apple cider and pizza go. They don't have any apple cider at the pizza place, but for me, apple cider and pizza, those are the 2 best ingredients. So what happened to me is I ate so much pizza, I actually went out of body. I don't know when I fell asleep, but I went out of body earlier. And I woke up before about 11:18 p.m. And then I said, wait a minute, what time is it on planet Earth? I said, I'll go on at 11:30. I'm only 30 minutes late for my show. So Hey, good to see you, Clifford. Cheryl, good to see you. Alicia, and to see Power of Suggestion. Now you want pizza. Ed, welcome to the show. Hey, Johnny, good to see you, brother. Ryan Brick 994, welcome to the show. Teresa, welcome to our show. Catherine Vaccaro, welcome to the show. Good to see you, Catherine. If you're new to this show, this is what we do. We always welcome all our viewers around the world. We want you to feel at home here. Unlike other places on TikTok where you might get ignored or whatever, this is an actual show. If you're new to the show, we do radio for 21 years. I'm on WESUFM.org for 21 years doing a show called Ashtar Command Radio, or Cosmic Eye Radio, dedicated to our space brothers. And 21 years on the radio as of 2024, NPR Pacific Radio. And I've been doing this for over a year. I don't keep track of time, you know. Nighttime, go ahead with the question. And also, Sandy Cheeks, thank you for the follow. What is the question, Nighttime? Go ahead. We're just getting into the groove here. Hey, Richard Dolson, good to see you. MCD, welcome to the show. Don Baker, welcome to the show. Michael Nandal, I think, or Nandi, or Nandal. Brian, welcome, Coco. Cody, welcome to the show as well. So what is the user 155? Thanks for the likes. Reflection of light, I like that. Gone fishing. Well, you can't be fishing right now because you're here with me on Encounters. You're fishing for UFOs. Hey, Billy Adams, good to see you, Billy. Key Rose. Dark Tony, good to see you, Dark Tony. Welcome to Encounters. Doug, welcome to Encounters. I always try Friends with Fairies. We're going to bring Friends with Fairies on tonight and talk about the videos because those videos were phenomenal. I had to repost and share them. Adele, welcome. Good evening. The Lake in May. Learn any more about the voice we heard last night? Nope. Brim was on my show. All I know is that a lot of us heard a woman's voice during the show. It's all on my YouTube channel, the show, if you want to re-listen to it. Everything was recorded, including the sounds of the voice of the woman and who was twice. Nikki, we're not mad at you. Are you mad at me? I didn't even see you were here. You just popped in there, Nikki. Good evening. How could we be mad at that happy face on the profile? I didn't even see you were there. Good evening. I have a video of UFOs on Lake Erie on Facebook, over 60,000 views. Hey, Frank, we're going to have, if you're the one who recorded it, we will have to have you on the show. You have 828 followers. We're going to follow you. And it says here, hello, I enjoy doing TikTok videos. I hope to go live someday. Well, you know what? When we start doing interviews tonight, if you're new to the show, people, let me just give a background of what we do here. Just give me 1 minute to come right back. Okay, I am right back. So again, good to see you, Nikki. We know we care about you. We just didn't see you in there. Anna, good to see you. Yes, I'm ready for another night. My orbs are outside. Oh, beautiful, Nikki. You know, you're having some beautiful stuff happen there. We also have Candy Coated. Hey, Candy Coated, good evening. Let's see, am I missing anybody here? Socially, thank you for the follow. Nate, crazy. I'll just say Nate. Earth is flat. Nate, we don't get into discussions about that. There's too many people on TikTok. This is a UFO show. We talk about UFOs, ETs, and disclosure. We do not talk about Earth being round, flat, purple, blue, green, or yellow, being a green bean or yellow bean. This is not the show for that. But I appreciate you just blurting out Earth is flat, but we're not going to get into that. This is not what the show's about. Let's see here. I will be back. Hey, okay, Nikki. Hey, Mahan Suk. Hey, Star Truth, I reached enough to start my own reels for Thursday at 2 p.m. Pacific time until 5 on my radio station. Oh, good, Star Truth. You like my shirt? Yeah, I have 3 different shirts with these kinds of different symbols on them. They came from a place in Maine, in the old port, in the old port of Maine. And it's a real kind of, they have a spiritual kind of hippie store there, and that's why I got them. Me and my uncle saw a UFO over Kansas City last night on the way home. Well, actually, 2 UFOs. Mahansuk, we'll have you on to talk about that too. We're going to also bring Fenswood Furry. If anyone has not seen the newest videos from April up in Vermont, they are phenomenal. And she's documenting and recording light ships, ships of light. And they're just beautiful. I reposted them, so you need to check those out on my repost. When I repost something, I'm not sure. I don't see the repost, but it's out there somewhere. I saw a zippy orange ball UFO and a disc UFO. Aggravated progressive. Interesting. Aggravated progressive. Let me see here. Hey, you have plenty of people there. We're going to have you on talk about that tonight. Don't go anywhere, people. I'm looking at who we're going to have on here based on what I'm hearing. Your videos were incredible. We're going to start with Mahansuk, then we're going to have April on, and then we're going to bring some other people on here. I'm just going through the names. Welcome, everybody. If you're just coming in, Nancy, welcome to Encounters, Tristan7943. My mom captured a ship. She took a pic. Oh, beautiful. We want to hear about that, Tiffany. We're going to do a few interviews here. So, Joyce Roy, welcome. Trudy, welcome. Daniel, welcome to the show. I'm just looking at all the names. Joey Peeps, thanks for the likes. We're going to get into some interviews right now, I think. Sandra, thank you for joining us. And during the show, we always encourage people, we want to get to 100,000 likes tonight. We're at 6.5. So I do look at everything on here. I multitask while I'm on here. We're at 6.6. So let's get everybody tapping. Please share it to people that you think would be wanting to watch this show. Don't share with people that are just basically in the matrix, but share with people that you think are still awake physically right now and invite them into the show. As you're doing that, as you're watching the show, please tap that button. Instead of 2 or 3 people tapping it, we need everybody. I get everybody involved in the show here. So everybody, whether you're a guest on the show or not, you're watching it. We don't want you sitting there watching. We want you to tap and get us up to 100,000 tonight by, I'd say, about 12:45. We'll go to about 1 tonight, I think. So let me see here. I don't know which. I'm going to go backwards here. Who am I having on first? Yeah, Mahansuk. Where's Mahansuk? He's here somewhere. Oh, yeah, I'm going to pin the galaxies. That's the one thing. I have 5 galaxies I'm looking to get tonight, so I'm pinning my goal tonight is 5 galaxies throughout the show. If I get the 5 galaxies between now and 12:45, 1 o'clock in the morning, that's good. Hey, Linda. Okay, so I just pinned the galaxies, and now we're looking to see where Mahansuk is. Let's see, I thought he was here. I could have sworn he was here unless I am totally... Mahansuk, are you out in the universe somewhere? Mahansuk, Commander on Encounters, looking for you. And if he's not here, we're going to start just bringing people up. Now, when I do that, if I've mentioned your name, for new people, Young Skywalker, welcome to the show. Please press the request to go live. Thank you, the Falal, for the hand heart. We appreciate the hand heart. And so we're going to start doing this in some sort of on a weird order. Hey, Young Skywalker. So I don't think Mahansuk's here. I thought he was here. So we'll get the ball rolling here. Crystal, welcome, Crystal. I'm going to go backwards to the beginning of my list of people that have come in the room. And let me see here. I think we're going to do... I'm looking at the people that mentioned they saw something here. I think it's in my list. I'm looking really carefully here. I don't want to miss out on opportunities with our viewers. I know it's one of the people here. Let's see, who is it here? Paul 345, your earlier question, so you come from the center of Mars. I just come from the planet Mars, but I just say I come from the planet Mars, not necessarily the center of Mars, but the planet itself. And let's see, who was the person that first told me? I grew up on Connecticut Pizza, Mercury Man says. Let's see here. I'll find the person that I was going to bring up here in a minute. I know that here I have a question. Nighttime had a question. Let's see. We're going to get to that person. I think here there's somebody here who saw something. I'm going backwards. My mom captured a ship last night. I think we'll have... we'll bring up... we're going to bring Frank up, and then we're going to go to some other folks here. Okay, Frank, we're going to bring you on here if you're still here. Just accept my guest request here. You have to just press the button there. There'll be like a button if you're still on Encounters. If you press the button, you can come on live. You might be able to come on live with audio and video. If Frank's not here, then we'll go to another person and bring them on. So we're trying to, and also let me give a sort of like a protocol of our show here. I love the apple cider. But the protocol of the show is this, just so people know. You have to be over 18, no kids on the screen. Number 2, no foul language, no cursing. Number 3, no drugs, alcohol, vaping, or smoking on the show. That could knock me right out. We don't want that happening, and we won't let that happen. And just essentially, really, those are the main 3 things. And just people just to realize this is a professional talk show, and we've been doing this for over a year on TikTok. I also am the host of WESU FM's Cosmic Eye Radio. Also, I guess those are really the main thing. Over 18, no kids on the screen, no people, drinking, no smoking, no vaping, whatever. No. If that's more important to you, then do that and stay to that whole thing if you need to do it, because you won't be going on the air with us if that's the case. Just basically, we have a good show and we have great interviews. If you've had a story, a visitation, a UFO sighting, you've seen crop circles or whatever, we're keeping the show related to this. No paranormal experiences. There's other places for the paranormal. We are all cosmically, galactically focused here, so we like to keep it that way. Hey, Trey, good to see you. Pretty patriot. Good to have you with us here as well. So we're going to go down the line here, and I think, let's see here. Let me see. So tell me, those who have had any sightings, recorded any sightings, had any visitations, type in here on the screen who you are. Hey, if you want to be a guest on the show, don't be afraid. We're not going to bite. We actually treat all our guests with dignity, and we honor everybody out here. So if you wish to share a story and you have 1,000+ followers, you can go on audio and video, meaning turn the camera on. If you're 200+, you can come on here now too and talk about your story related to Encounters, our show here. So we're going to see who our first guests will be. I'm going to try to bring some new people on tonight. Not all new people. Hey, Rob, good to see you. I'm going to go back a little bit here. And let's see if I could figure that out. Let's see here. Here's Mahan Suk. Is he here? We're bringing Mahan Suk on. I know he's here somewhere. I think he's here. He was here like a moment ago. He says, me and my uncle saw a UFO over Kansas City last night on the way home. Well, actually, 2 UFOs, and he said they were green. I don't think Mahansuk is here. He must have disappeared. How can you tell if someone is telling the truth or making their story up? Well, there's a point. That's a great question. The Floral Oracle, we'll have to have you on talking about that. Let's see what she's doing. Oh, yeah. We'll have you on as a guest, Oracle. I want you on whatever you do, it says here you talk to blank people. So we don't need to know anything about that experience. That's paranormal. But the story about the pyramid, I'm interested in. All the paranormal stuff we'll keep out if we bring you up here. Let's see. The Lake in May said, how can you tell if someone is telling the truth or making their story up? Well, if I were to take in my 21 plus years of radio broadcasting with radio interviews and to say, well, I really don't know if you're telling the truth, I'd end up doing 20 years of radio saying every guest I've ever had that spoke to me is like, oh, they're probably making up a story. There's a point, like, when you have to say to yourself whether you believe someone's story or not. For me, when I have people on here, I'm pretty clear about knowing that they tell the truth. I don't have them, they can't prove to me, nor do I want them to try to prove to me that they're telling the truth. And if they're not telling the truth, they'll have to face that on their own when they're just looking in the mirror, every day. But when you're doing a show like this and been in this area of subject matter for many years, like I have, in the media part of it, I've interviewed tons of people. So I've interviewed people who've written books. I've interviewed people without books. People have had sightings. No, if people tell me a story, I pretty much put a bank on them telling the truth. If I don't, then I might as well just give up interviewing people. Because then you're going to spend the rest of your life wondering if anyone's telling the truth. And at some point, you have to tell your mind to shut up and say to yourself, oh, wow, that's an interesting story. They remember what happened. So because it's not in the realm of third dimensional reality, most stories people tell about these things, you'll never hear on major news like ABC or Good Morning America. So you have to trust your own guts. If you believe that the person's telling the truth, then you go with that. At some point you have to say, wait a minute, maybe they are telling the truth. Because we've been so programmed not to believe this stuff that your mind says, don't believe any of this. It doesn't exist. It can't be possible. You have to break that gap. That's really important. Let's see here. Light spinning behind the trees. It was a saucer shape, though it's adopting air like it had air. Interesting, Monique. Interesting things. And Monique, we're going to follow you. You have over 200 followers, Monique. So we're going to bring you on. I'm just going to randomly bring people on here. And let me, I think we'll start with Monique. I'm just going to be random here. Monique, I'm pressing the guest button. Christine, yes, they're here in peace. And then we have Monique. I think Monique's here on Encounters. Monique, welcome to the show. Oops. Oh, Monique went off. I guess Monique is not ready to talk about what happened. Well, there's more than saucer tape ships. A lot of the California dock, when you really get into researching the subject, there are all kinds of different spaceships. The sources are the ones that are known. They're orb type ships, they're teardrop type ships, star looking ships, all kinds of different ships, pyramid type ships. There's just so many there's just too many different ones. So Monique, would you like to come on and talk about it? I just actually put you on here. You were just on here. Wait a minute. I'm pressing the guest button. You just came on and disconnected yourself. Okay, here we go.
Am I on?
You are now on. Do not do whatever you did before. Just you're on now with me on the Encounters. Welcome to the show.
Welcome. This happened in like 2001 by Midway Airport. We were driving down, Main Street, not too busy, and I seen lights spinning behind the trees, and I thought it was a helicopter ready to crash or something. I said, "Oh my God!" I turned sideways. I was with my daughter and the little one and her friend. She was driving, and all of a sudden it stopped. We jumped out of the car. I go, oh my God, it's a UFO. It was green in color. It looked metallic, like a
Metallic.
melted
Okay.
plastic color.
Wow, that's interesting. It was
And
green. Was it like?
it was like a metallic green, like army-based colors, like green. It
Huh.
was like a army-based colors, like a lighter green, a darker green. I can never forget it. And it was the size of like a football field. When it stopped dead in the air, almost like it had air brakes on it. It's like, oh my
Wow.
God, we're dead, it's gonna fall. So my
Right.
daughter and her girlfriend jumped out of the car with a Polaroid camera, tried to take a picture. I sent the information to like Chicago where they have the, UFO information. Never got a
Right.
response from it. And being by the airport, like I said, I thought it was a helicopter coming down, but it was on a
Wow.
tilt. And I still remember the colors. I could still draw the thing. It was like saucer shaped with like an indent on it. And it had like a
Huh.
tall tower right in the middle, and
Interesting.
it had like wires. It had like a um like almost like the Sears Tower type antenna in the middle,
Yeah.
and the
Yeah.
control was in the middle, undoubtedly in the middle,
Wow.
and
Interesting.
you could see the light. It was lit up inside, but the lights around the ship, went out as it stopped. All of a sudden it
Yeah.
straightened out. My husband was on the next block walking our dog, and all of a sudden the
Yeah.
ship straightened out. The lights came out around the ship, and they didn't look like lights. They looked like, just, I can't even describe it, like spotlights they put out for displays into the sky. I mean, and it
Huh.
didn't look like the ship moved at all. It looked like almost like a giant fan belt of lights around the outside of the ship. And then it was
Hmm.
up and gone. And my husband said he was walking the dog. He was afraid to look up because he seen it a block away. He seen the light spin, and he said he was scared to look up too, because when you're by the airport, you think something's coming down. But I
Yeah.
believe that was like 2001, because my granddaughter's 25, and she was like maybe 2 or 3 years old at the time.
Wow.
And I even drew my son at that time was stationed in Iraq. And I sent them picture, colored the picture, showed the antenna in the middle. And, I never seen nothing like that again, but it was pretty scary. I mean, you look at this giant ship just stopped almost treetop level. It's like, why isn't anybody seeing this? Why, like just us or
Right.
something? Because like Central Avenue right by Midway is a very busy location usually.
Well, yeah, in Chicago, yeah.
Yeah, and
It's
like
well, I can tell you though, the reason why you saw it, and I've had numerous guests, and when you say someone, and if it's hovering and it went on a slant and it was hovering,
it just stopped then.
conventional, yeah, conventional aircraft don't do that.
No, I know
Conventional
it don't.
aircraft
I never
never
seen
do that.
nothing like that. But let me tell you something. 3 days before that, I got, the phone ring, and I got a static. Now, I don't know how many people you talk to or you know about, but it was 3 days before that. You know how dreams and stuff come true? And I told my
Hmm.
husband, I said, I just had a dream that, that I seen a UFO. This was 3 days before, and they, whoever's in control, said, you would be scared. People would be scared if we came to Earth right now. They
Huh.
said the Earthlings aren't ready for us. I said, no, I won't be scared in a dream, right? And when I seen this 3 days later, I mean, I almost died. It's like, no, this isn't for real. A dream is a dream. You wake up, you think this never happened, but it did 3 days after I had that dream.
Wow.
That
So
that
you know
was
what?
I could still draw that picture, but it was the weirdest. It was like a green and a darker green metallic material.
Well, let me tell you something. They were communicating with you in your dream. I call that a cosmic dream. And it's very interesting you said that you mentioned a dream 3 days before in 2001. So you had a dream 3 days before the event occurred.
Right.
You both were, I'll have to use the word, you were chosen to see this
I don't know, but I
for
was
some
scared,
reason.
poopless,
Yeah.
to
Well,
say the
you were
least.
both you were both chosen to see it. You were definitely, there was a reason. All I know is that the fact is they telepathically communicated with you in your sleep, saying, you're going to see us. And they said, they don't want to scare anybody because people in our society tend to get scared of these things because they don't know what it is.
They
And
said He said that, and I heard some kind of comment that came on not too long after that by an Indian guy that got almost probably the same thing that I got. And
Mhm.
whoever I spoke to in the dream said the people on Earth aren't ready for him.
Yeah, it was in 2001.
Yeah, they said we're not ready,
Yeah.
but
Well,
I don't
that
know
was
if it's
back
going to
then.
be.
That probably would have been true, but we're going to be having some major. Just so if you're new to the show, I have a strong background. I've been in contactee since the '60s. I've had numerous sightings of spaceships of various sizes, and I also have had. I'm a telepathic communicator. I communicate with a space being called Monquie. I don't channel anything.
Uh-huh.
So I've done radio for 21 years on the subject. We have a coordinating group of C5, which is contact with extraterrestrial intelligence, where we get together and we're going to be going out April and getting our group together, and we do peaceful contact and protocol to make contact with our what we call the star family or the space brothers and sisters. So your story is very interesting because 3 days before you heard voices talking to you saying, we're going to be there 3 days later. And what happens? 3 days later, you and your husband see a spaceship.
Well, it was me and my daughter and her friend. The husband was walking a block away with the dog. But
And
when
then
I
he saw it
seen,
from a block, but it was your daughter and her friend and you, right?
yes,
Was it right on top of you?
it was like, it was spinning. We were driving down Central Avenue and I seen the
Mm.
lights flashing real fast sideways. And I thought, oh my God, it's a helicopter coming down because it was a fall. It was, close to Halloween that year. And I seen the light spinning behind a tree. I thought we're dead. I said, what the hell is that, And then we
Yeah.
got to the corner where it was clear and, there was no more trees. And that's when they jumped out of the car and took pictures. I was scared
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
say the
So,
least,
so,
because
so,
I
so
didn't
they have,
believe.
do they have
I
pictures
just,
still from the time they took them in 2001?
I couldn't, no, it never turned out. The
Uh,
pictures never
the
showed up. They
pictures
jumped out
never
with their
showed up.
Polaroid. No, but back
Interesting.
then it was the Polaroid camera.
A polar camera. Okay, I'm thinking
Yeah,
cell phone,
which
but
which the ships have what deflective fields or something, so we wouldn't think they would take. But I'll
yeah.
tell you what, I went home and locked the doors. It's like, oh my God,
Yeah.
it's
Nothing,
supposed to be a
nothing,
dream.
nothing to be afraid of anymore. So if you had that happen again and you heard them speaking to you in your sleep, would you be afraid now or would you be willing to be interested in communications?
I would probably still be afraid, to be honest, because that was
Uh,
just like a shock. How
oh,
many
yeah, of
dreams
course.
come true?
Most people find it amazing instead of being scared. I mean,
I
unless you
mean,
were abducted.
it was spectacular to see it, but I was afraid to get out of the car because, like you said, I think they want me. It's like,
See, you
it's
got to
like
stop thinking
Monquie.
that. You got to stop thinking that way because we're projected that thinking from all the sci-fi movies. You watch sci-fi movies like War of the World, you think they want me and this is what's going to happen. Throw that stuff out the window. If you ever have the experience again, and you probably will, and you're probably connected in some way to those specific non-terrestrial beings that were in that ship, sorcerer shaped ship,
I'm
there's a
thinking
reason.
so too. My dad has like an Indian heritage to him,
Okay, okay.
and
He
the
has an
Indians
Indian.
are pretty much with the Earth thing, as one. I'm thinking,
Mhm.
why was I chosen to have this dream? It's got maybe
Well,
something with my background.
well, you're connected. If you have an indigenous cultural background, that
Right.
would make sense too. And that
Yes.
wouldn't have to be the only reason. It could be anybody, but there is a connection. But if you ever see it again, do not be afraid. Don't let fear get over you because a lot of people would want to see that. If they say, if 10,000 people heard your story, say, "Oh wow, she's one of these things," and they were communicating with her. Some people would like want to be in line to be the next person to stand there and look at this thing. So look at it as an honor that you were able to see it. Not many people get to see, for people that do have experiences that I've interviewed, there are 10,000 others that have not even seen anything. So
Yeah,
you're
I
one of
mean,
the few that have.
I still look to the skies, but in Chicago and Midway, you barely see the stars, you know?
Yeah. Well, yeah, you're in
And
the city.
yeah, yeah, it's hard to see the stars, but when I seen that, I mean, I could still draw it. I mean, to me, like I said, the lights weren't of normal lights like you see on an
Right.
airplane. They were like maybe like a floodlight, something you see in the sky when they promote
Yeah.
things. And the
Hmm.
lights went up and down. There's one light that went up and one light that went down when it took off.
Yeah.
They were going up
Yeah. It
and
was
down,
the
and the ship did not spin. Outside the belt spun.
and was it silent?
Yes,
Okay.
no noise at all.
Yeah.
Dead
What you saw,
quiet.
what you saw was, and I can tell you because I've been in this subject matter for years. You saw an actual spaceship, a non-terrestrial spaceship. Stephen, thank
And
you.
which leaves it open because they got so many hangars at Midway, and I'm thinking, is this military? Is this something put together, or is it
Well,
extraterrestrial?
it's definitely extraterrestrial. It wasn't military. I read energy.
Uh-huh.
I read energy when I hear stories. It was definitely extraterrestrial. When it left, did it go straight up in the air? Where did it go?
Yep, it went straight up. The ship straightened out because it was on a tilt when it stopped. It
And then when it
straightened
went,
out. The light started spinning. It was up and gone in a matter of seconds.
okay, I'm going to stop you there. The reason why it stopped spinning and went straight up because it went back into outer space. It was a non-terrestrial spaceship.
Yeah, it was gone. I thought
Yeah,
maybe it's
that's what it
something that
was.
came out of Midway Airport, one of the hangars or something, a
No. Oh
project or
yeah, no,
something.
no, not a project. This thing came from outer
It
space.
was gone. It was gone in
So
seconds.
I'm gonna throw all your logical thinking out the window now. So get rid of that thinking too. You had an actual magical moment where there was an actual extraterrestrial spaceship, and they were actually communicating with you telepathically 3 nights before you actually saw it with your daughter and her friend. It
Yeah,
was a spaceship.
yeah. But like I said, you don't think dreams come true like that. But I had more
Oh,
dreams
they
after
do.
that, and I think we'll be encountering a lot more ships. And the dream that I had not too long ago is like I was in a hotel in Chicago, and
Yeah.
there's very unfriendly extraterrestrials out there. I
Well,
mean,
there are, but it depends. Do you know how to meditate in Christ consciousness? I got to help
no,
you out here.
no.
Okay, so here's what you need to do. I want you to take some notes here and write them down because I do workshops on how to do meditations with Christed meditations to keep away negative ETs. I'm going to actually tell you how to do this right now. This goes for anybody out there. Since you're on the show with me, I'm going to tell you this before you get involved in any more sightings or anything. What you're going to do is learn how to meditate. I don't care if you use the Alexa app or YouTube. You're going to use ambient meditation music or Christed meditation music. When you meditate, you're going to throw all your thoughts out of your head. And to meditate, you're going to actually, because you're going to, if you know that you're going to have more contacts, I want to make sure that you are having positive contacts, not negative contacts. And this is the way we do it. You're going to put an imaginary bubble around you. This bubble is going to be a bubble of light. Wherever you go, that bubble will be around your home. You're going to put that bubble around your whole house, your condo, your apartment, wherever it is. You're going to imagine that there's this big bubble protecting you and nothing can get through the bubble. When you do that, you can say, I'm a Christed being of light. Can you say, I want you to say it?
I'm a what?
I want you to say it with me. I am a Christed being of light.
I am a Christed
Being of light.
beam of light. Okay.
Yeah, and say it again. A I am a Christed being of light.
I am a Christed beam of light.
Not beam, a Christed being, like a
Being.
being, like a
Okay.
yeah, like human being. So you're a
Okay.
Christed being. You
Okay.
yourself, who are the being, you are a Christed being of light. So
Okay.
I am a Christed being of light. It's like a mantra. You're going to repeat it. When you do that, you're going to say, I will only communicate with positive Christed beings of light. And you're going to remember this. I will only communicate with Christed beings of light. And if they're not Christed beings of light, they can't come into your force field and communicate with
Okay.
you. So this way, when you have future sightings, if you see the sightings and it looks like something weird is happening, you say, you must leave. I'm a Christed being of light. You must
Okay.
leave. And they will leave. If they are Christed beings of light, you will feel the energy vibration from their spaceship, which will be very positive. If they're not, you feel a icky feeling. You say, I'm a Christed being of light. You must leave now.
Okay.
So this is going to protect you from any negative experiences. So you're not going to project the negative. You're going to project the positive.
Yeah, because
You're gonna,
I've been having a feeling that I'm going to see something very shortly, probably this summer. I thought it was going to be by last summer, but I'm thinking this summer. and I can
Right.
tell there's something out there because I get left ear vibrations.
Okay.
Which
Yeah, but you have to allow yourself not to pre-project what you're going to see as being negative. If you put that thought form in your consciousness, you'll create what you think. You need
okay,
to throw that out. You need to throw that out
okay,
of the window. Wherever that's coming from, it's coming from your head. Throw that stuff right out the window. Just
okay,
follow exactly my protocol of
okay,
contact, and you'll have no negative contact. It
okay,
won't even be there. Okay.
okay.
I'm so glad you came up here, and yeah, definitely this summer.
I've been wanting to tell somebody for a long time. Like I said, I could still draw the picture. I remember the tower that was in the middle. It was,
Yeah,
man, the antenna was like the Sears Tower antenna in
Sears
Chicago.
Tower. Yeah,
And
yeah,
but what's a little strange is it had like a wire. And I'm thinking if
yeah.
it's that advanced, why is there still a wire like an
Yeah, so
antenna?
look at it this way. We have to throw out our perceptions of the way spaceships from other planets should be. Once we throw out our perceptions of the way they should have their spaceships, we'll be much better off. If they have some sort of antenna that they have on their flying saucer or whatever, that's been documented in the 60s when I was growing up of
Mm-hmm.
people that were videotaping spaceship or videotaping flying saucers.
Hmm.
And they met people, contactees that met these people. They landed in the desert and they were taken off planet. So if there is something like an antenna or some lights blinking like crazy, you say, why do spaceships need lights? Well, that is because they operate in a vibrational frequency pattern
Yeah,
that
I
is
know.
vibrating through a light. So when you see a spaceship with lights, don't automatically think it's one of ours. It could be, but that doesn't mean it is.
It
And
was
people need to
the
know.
way the lights flashed. Like I said, it looked like it ran on a giant fan belt or something. And one light went up
Yeah,
and one light went down. The lights were going
yeah,
up and down in a
yeah. No
crazy
fan
pattern.
belts. It took right off from the planet when it got stationary, like you said before. And I
It
asked you
was
where it
up
went.
and
It went
gone.
straight up
Yep,
and gone. It went right back. It had technology beyond our Earth-based technology, so it went right out into space.
yep.
Hey, I appreciate you coming on here
Okay,
and sharing your story with us.
okay.
You were my first guest, so thank you.
Nice meeting you, and more power to you.
And let us know in the summer if you have a sighting. Let us
All
know
right,
about it, okay?
all right, we'll do. Take care.
And practice the things I just mentioned to you, and you'll make sure you have positive contact.
Okay. All right, thank you. Have
All
a
right.
good night.
You too, Monique. Stay
Okay,
tuned for more
okay, bye.
people. That was Monique, our first guest. That was an interesting story, folks. Thank you, Monique. That was really good. And we're gonna bring up some more people here. I was gonna bring Mahansuk up here, my friend in Arkansas, but he's not here right now. I don't think. Let's see, Tiffany, you have a story to tell. Tiffany only has 134 followers. Tiffany, we have to get up to 200, but I appreciate you telling me verbally or typing it in. We'll have to get to Tiffany as soon as she gets to 200 here. I'm going to bring up. I'm going to bring up April. She had a lot of stuff on video. April's our second guest. And if you want to be a guest, remember, no foul language, no drugs, no vaping, no smoking, no drinking. You have to be over 18, no kids. And I think those are the main things and also the fourth thing is nothing paranormal outside of the realm of UFO sightings, encounters, visitations, crop circles, Bigfoot, whatever. Good evening, April. How you doing?
Hi, everybody. Hi, Commander.
Good to see you.
It's good to see you. How's everybody tonight?
We're doing good. I was going to bring Mahansuk up here before, but I couldn't find him.
Oh,
But I'm hoping he's around here somewhere. I see him popping up on my screen. But anyway, so if you don't know who Friends with Prairies is, everybody, she's been on the show before, many of our guests. She has been documenting, and I've shared the videos I've seen on her main page of large ships recently, and we're going to get into that with her about these ships. You can watch it on her main page. You can see the videos, and it's just been amazing. These ships that are appearing, I think, and so I think one of them in what I've been seeing is like a mothership. So we're gonna let Friends with Prairies talk about this. This happened, I think, the other night. So we'll let her get into the story. And you're watching Encounters, the late night edition, with your host CmdrAleon. host of the show, and we're glad to have everybody with us.
So let's start off with the 2 nights ago. So 2 nights ago, I for those of you who don't know, I've had a rainbow star being that I have named Mikey, and I found out that Mikey is he's a protector being, and he has been out here protecting my property, and so I gave him the name Mikey because I wanted something to call him. He chose the name. But he was a star that was out there, and I noticed that the star had been moving around. And then later on found out that Mikey was placed here for protection for my property and myself and my family. So the other night, there was a negative being that was, I have protection on my property, not just from the fairy folk, but from the space beings as well. And the negative ship had tried to land on my property. Well, Mikey ended up, and I got it on video, Mikey ended up chasing this ship off. And I'm often outside having verbal communications with Mikey, and he has a favorite mountain and a favorite spot he likes to kind of hang out in. And when this negative ship had come, Mikey moved him away from my property over to a farther mountain, and then chased him off. So last night, Mikey seemed very happy. He was sitting in his favorite spot. First, he was up in the sky, then he moved down to his favorite spot. And so I, went outside. It was really cold out, but I went out there to videotape him and say hello. And I happened to notice that there was another ship that was just above the tree lines, not too far down from where Mikey was sitting. And then the ship like kind of settled into this mountain, and now there's no road access to this mountain. Is like it's very like it's rugged country up there. I live myself in the mountains and have a pretty extensive property, um so this is probably like 50 miles away from where my mountain's at, and there's no road access up there. There's no access up there at all. It's all like wooded area, deep thick woods. And anyway, so I see this second ship, and it landed in just underneath the tree line, not too far away from Mikey. So I'm filming, I see the ship, so I start filming this ship. And then I see I it was getting cold, so I went back in, and then a little while later I popped back out to see if the ship was still there, and it was still there. Then I noticed that there was another ship. So now we're at three ships. And then in between, and this ship had like three, it looked like it was different than the other ship. The second ship was long and
So let's slow people down. So the green ship, which was a negative ship, tried to get into your area, and were these other three ships there to get rid of the other ship?
no, it was just Mikey out there at that point.
Okay,
So Mikey had chased that ship off, and that was the night before,
okay.
and that was the first time
Night
that I had.
before.
Yeah, that's
I
how I
want to give
found.
I want to give people a timeline. So the night before the other three ships,
Yeah,
Mikey chased off the negative ET ship, which
right.
couldn't get close to your area, and it was a goner. It was gone. He
Yeah,
just got rid of it.
yeah.
And what night were the three ships? Last night or the night before that?
So this was last night. This was
Last night. Okay.
just before the show.
Okay.
It was, a couple hours before your show was on, and I went outside to do some filming, and I saw Mikey was out there, so I went out to go communicate with him and tell him, hi, and talk to him and get it on video. And so I'm out there and I'm talking to Mikey, and then I noticed that there was a second ship, and then I noticed a third ship. So we're at three ships at this point. The third ship had three lights, and the second ship was a long flat ship.
Huh.
And later on when I zoomed in on it, the long flat ship also had like a smaller like energy bubble on the top of it, almost like a ship you would see like a movie type ship, where
Okay.
it's flat with a bubble on top. It
Yeah.
looked something like that, but the bubble on top was like an energy type bubble. Now,
Oh, interesting.
now I got close-ups of that one, and you can actually see a space being sitting inside the ship, and I've got a bunch
Really?
of snapshots of it, and I
And
have
let me
that.
stop you. Let me stop you there. The space being sitting inside the ship. What did they look like?
It was really far away. You could see like a humanoid shaped body, and
Oh, wow.
yeah, and it's really cool. You can definitely see like a humanoid shaped body sitting in this ship, and it was flashing so quickly that it was flashing. It had some different colors that it was flashing because the lights were going around the bottom part of the ships, and
Hmm.
that bubble energy area was where the being was that was driving the ship, and you could see him sitting in like
Wow.
it looked like he was sitting in some type of seat almost, but
Like a control in the ship.
yes, yes, like he was
Okay.
controlling like he was in control of that
And
specific ship.
someone is asking you. Judy White says, "How did Mikey chase away the negative ET ship that was green the other night?" Can you
Well,
explain that?
what I visually saw, what Mikey had done is Mikey had turned himself a different color. Mikey is a rainbow being, so he's always these rainbow colors. These very vibrant rainbow colors, and that's when it seems like he's happy, content, and he's just going about his business. But this was the
Hmm.
first time I had ever seen him in distress, and when he was in distress, he turned this orangish red color and was
Hmm.
flaring himself big because he can change his shape, and so he had changed himself into this large, almost reddish orb, and he kept like
Huh.
expanding and going small, expanding and going small, and then I said hello to him, and at first he didn't realize I was there, and then he acknowledged that I was there, and I had seen the green ship. There was a smaller green ship that was out there, and I was like, I see you got a friend with you. And I asked him if he was a good ship or a bad ship, but I misunderstood him. I didn't realize he flared up because he'll flare up to yes questions if
Yeah.
the answer is yes, when I communicate with him. But he did flare up, but I didn't realize he had done that. So I thought he was saying that it was a good ship that was out there with him. But then
But it wasn't.
Mikey started getting agitated, and he kept like flaring like really big, and then
Yeah.
like distorting himself, and then he shot out this. I don't know what if it was like a ray
A
or
beam,
a
like a
beam of
ray or
light.
beam or something. Yeah.
Yeah, he shot something out at it, and it looked like a light shot and like hit this other ship, and the other ship was gone. That was it. That ship wasn't have nothing to do with him. He was
Yeah.
gone, just gone, like seconds, bam, out of sight. Couldn't see him.
Well, as they say, the light force will always knock out the negative ETs. They
Yeah,
don't like that. So,
no,
but that was Judy White's question. So hopefully that answers your question, Judy, for you and other people that don't know that part of the story. Now let's go back to the current situation that I've seen your videos. Other people have watched your videos, and you've been documenting this. So we had the tall humanoid being in a bubble in a spaceship.
right.
Let's continue from that mode. What else is going on as you're seeing
Okay.
that?
So while I'm videotaping that ship, I see another ship that's down the hill farther, and it had just three lights on it. It was a three lighted ship. It looked like three orbs that were close together, but not quite connecting. So that was a third ship that was out there, and this ship was just kind of you could see its lights kind of undulating, and he's just sitting there. And Mikey wasn't agitated at all. He was still his little happy rainbow colors. So I'm like, okay, so these are good ships. Or Mikey would be flaring up at, getting mad. And he wasn't. He was just sitting there. And then I look up, and there is another ship, and this ship is up in the sky, though but it's right above my property,
Wow.
and it was another rainbow ship, but this was a large one. This was a large rainbow ship, and it
Hmm.
kind of looked almost to see it with your eyes, it almost looked like a jellyfish type
A
ship.
jelly. Oh, interesting. Huh.
So that's what I call them, the jellyfish ships, because that's what they look like. But they're good. Those ones are good, and it's also a rainbow ship.
Hmm.
So that one is up in the sky. Then I see another one just cruising past, but this one's going with some speed. This one's going right through like it's heading towards Canada.
Hmm.
Right. So that one's just cruising through, and he was flashing. He almost looked like how the airplanes flash the red and whatever
Right.
ships. But that ship, he was going really fast, and then he kind of stopped behind the trees, and he was just sitting there. Mikey didn't flare up, so I was like, okay, another ship, and this is a good one. But this one started to back away a little bit, and then started turning himself into a cloud. He was forming a cloud, like a stealthy cloud around him,
Yeah,
and
like an electromagnetic field, which
yeah.
the ship's there, but it just creates a field that looks like a cloud, but it's basically going into a cloaking mechanism.
Yes, and that's what he did, and I could see the cloud forming around him with my eyes, like you could see it like just making these poofs, and it was like it was forming a cloud around it. It was actually really cool to watch. So okay, so let's see, we're at the five ships now, and then just down the mountain a little ways from that flat ship, there was another flat ship, but this one had two lights that were above it. So it had like two orbs. It was a flat ship with two orbs above it. So we had like many different types of ships that were out here, six of them in total, all out here, all at one time. They're all just hanging out on the hill, and I'm just or on this mountain, and I'm just going, wow, like I'm watching them. I watched one of them land. I saw one of them just appear out of the trees. There was also another small one. I wasn't sure if that one was a ship or not. It looked like a smaller white orb ship that
Right.
was in between two. There might have possibly been seven of them out there, but
Wow.
definitely the other ones were out there, and they were out there for a while, like
And
almost
one of the
over an hour.
videos you have,
Yeah. So
one of the videos, it looked like you had a big mothership. Can you explain
yes.
that?
Yeah, that one was the flat one with the two like balls above it. But that one looked like a mothership to me. So while I'm videotaping the last part, because I kept going in and out. I was videotaping this. I was getting this on video. But it
Hmm.
was really, really cold out last night. I mean, really cold out. It was in the single digits, so I couldn't be out there for very long, and I could still see the ships from my window. So I'm, just trying to pay attention to what was happening. And I kept going out there to video. Because I wanted to get this documented, because there was a lot of ships out there, and the energy that was going on my property was it was super strong. Like if you were to get super excited about something, like
Right.
I don't know how to explain it, but the energy was like really, it was good. It was good, but it was really, really
You
powerful.
very
Um,
powerful. You felt like really, and we're talking to April in Vermont, and she's talking about her videos that she's been documenting the last night with multiple spaceships and of different sizes, and the ships that she's seen, they have been making contact with her directly. And do you feel in that? It's always people are probably wondering, well, how come she's seeing so many ships? How come they're coming close to her mountain where she is in Vermont, in northern Vermont, because she's close going towards Canada. So you're probably saying, well, how come all these things are happening to her, right? But I think there's a reason why you're having all this happen right now. Can you explain to people watching the show why you think you're being contacted like this?
well, um, I have also in the last couple of weeks had physical contact with beings, and so I know why I'm being contacted, and I have been in communications with the commander about it. So um, here's the thing: is that me and the commander, our star families were friends, in this up in our star life, not in our human life. Well, I mean, we're friends now, but in our star families are really good friends. The commander and I are meant to work together. I was guided almost, a year ago now, Commander, to the commander's show by these space beings to meet the commander. And was told by these space beings that the commander and I were meant to work together. So now contact is going to be happening soon, and they are getting their people, their human people, ready for this contact to happen. There's a handful of human beings across the world that have been chosen. We were all pre-chosen before we were even put in our human bodies. To be part of this mass contact that's going to happen all over the world. And there are some of us that were chosen to um, prepare humanity basically for this contact, and the commander and myself are part of that chosen group of people, which is why we were guided to be together and become friends. And we've become really good friends over the last year, but I knew none of this until recently. I knew there was a reason why I was brought to the commander. The commander actually helped me open up about my contacts, because I was scared to tell anybody about it, because I thought people were going to think I was, cuckoo. And the commander told me, no, he's like, you're not crazy. And, this is a safe place to talk about this. And he helped me come out of my verbal space closet and start opening them up about the things that I've been seeing and having interactions with and contact with. And we have
In
been,
April, Just Jane Doe 3000 asks, Friends of Prairies, you physically saw them? So she's asking you, did you physically see the ships? I think
yes,
that
I
was the
physically
question.
saw the ships, and I have been in physical contact with the actual space beings themselves. And these are high vibrational space beings, part of the Ashtar Command and part of the angelic realm of space beings.
People are saying, I say people, Tiffany Leftwich is saying, I hear the ship, Commander. So people are saying, well, this one person says she hears sounds behind you like a spaceship. Um, yeah. Clifford also says he hears the sounds of a spaceship.
Yeah, that
Okay.
happens quite often.
Yeah. And again, I'm not going to tell you one way or the other. I'm just the host of the show. My viewers will tell me what they hear. I hear a sound too. It sounds, I don't know what a spaceship sounds like, honestly. I wouldn't know what a spaceship sounds like. So, but that just want to let you know, some people are saying they hear
Yeah.
that. One person says, I get ringing in my ear last night. It was the loudest and longest I've ever yet. So freedom, the ringing in your ear, there's a thing with ears when they kind of have a ringing thing. It's a sort of a thing that people have. Or could it be, can you explain that? The ringing in your ear, what that's about? It's like it's like a tickling sound in my ear, somebody says. Tendinitis, is it? Yeah. That could be what that is too. There are people that have that tinnitus or something. Maybe I'm mispronouncing it with my New England accent. Uh, I could say, pizza. You can say pizza. I don't know, but like a high pitch sound. Okay, I don't know what to tell you on that. It could be tinnitus, or it could be where you get a tone in your ear. I know when I get downloads, I can tell you I get a tone that comes like really a strong, like ooh, a tone, and then it goes away and it disappears. And most times for that, because it disappears, that I'm getting downloads. And so other people might hear watching the show have that same thing. You get a little tone coming, gets bigger, the tone sounds louder, and it goes away. But if you have constant ringing in your ears, that could be tendinitis. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. But anyway, yeah. So you're watching Encounters. We're at 33,000. Let's at least try to get to 100,000 before 1 o'clock. We started late. We went on 11:32 in the evening. We're going to go to 1 tonight. Tomorrow night we'll be on at 11. And I wish I had a longer weekend. I can use a few more days not going anywhere.
Yeah, I hear you there. I've had a long weekend myself.
Yeah, no,
So,
but so these videos, if you haven't checked them out after the show, check the videos out because the stories she's talking about have been documented in her videos,
yes, I document
and they
everything.
everything is totally real. There's no CGI. Everything she's doing, and I would hope just as many other people I've had on my show over the year have also on their website on their TikTok pages. People are videotaping and documenting and posting their videos. A lot of people are having sightings. Just Jane Doe says I have seen them. Oh, very good. And you're watching Encounters. We welcome everybody to the show. It's a show dealing with the spiritual UFO areas, ET contact, visitations, and of course, disclosure. We like to get into all those things. So, welcome everyone finding our show. Hope you'll be regular viewers around the world to our show, which is usually on at 11. We started a little bit late tonight, but luckily, a lot of people are still awake. So, hopefully, you don't have to go to work tomorrow.
Crazy Lou, I hear you, and I am actually using the absolute brand new latest iPhone. It is because of the energy that is on my property. It causes my videos to look grainy and blurry. I can't explain it other than the energy on my property. I can go off my property and I can take the clearest videos, and like I could take a picture of a flower and zoom right in on it. You could see even the pollen on that thing. But
Right.
I take a video of it on my property and it comes out grainy every single time.
And
Every
that's
time.
the picture of the spaceship. So
Yeah,
Crazy Lou, what's happened, and this happens not just with her, but a lot of people that are having videotaping of spaceships. A lot of spaceship sightings will be kind of grainy, not all the time, but they will be because there's a vibrational energy from these ships that affects the camera. That's why they become grainy. And they don't also, yeah, and like Jesso said, sometimes the space beings will not let you take a clear picture.
exactly. Exactly. And I think that's probably most of the case because like I said, I can go off my property and be anywhere else and my pictures come out absolutely beautiful.
Right.
But I take them when I'm on my property and they come out very grainy, like I'm, filming from a phone from the 80s. It's bad.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I'm trying to get as much documentation of everything that I can. That's why
Yeah.
it's not CG because CG would not be
Right.
grainy like that. But
Yeah, if you see a CGI video, folks, and it looks too good to be true, it's too good to be true. I've seen so many
exactly.
people, even on TikTok, they'll create these CGI videos, and they look really good. I talked to a CGI creator. He created a video that showed like 3 Air Force jets following these flying saucer ships. Looked real. He said it was a CGI program he was using.
Yeah,
So when you see really clear footage, most cases it's CGI. If you see footage like what she's doing and it's not clear, it's because the vibrational energy from the spaceships interferes with the phone system that's recording it, and it's the vibrational frequencies that are affecting the video recording. So yeah, just to give people some technical knowledge about this.
so anyways, Commander, so last night while I am videotaping the last part of my video, a light, I look down at the end of my property, because I see a light like turn on like at the corner of my eye, and I'm looking and I'm going, what the heck is that? Because there's no houses there. This is the end of my property and there's nothing but woods. I'm surrounded by woods, so I'm
Hmm.
looking and I'm going, what is that? And it's like a doorway, a square, and a light comes out of it. And all of a sudden, I thought was one being because it was really far down my property. And I thought it was one being that was coming out of the square, and
Huh.
it ended up being three beings coming out of the square, and it was actually a landed ship that was right on the edge of my property, and it opened up a door, and three beings came walking out, and I got
When
that
when
on
did
video
that when did that happen?
last night,
What time did that happen last night?
just before the show,
Just before the show.
about 45 minutes an hour before the show.
How far away was the ship from your house?
I mean, I have a really big property, so I would say about half a about how I mean, if I were to say it in block, like a half a block away.
That's pretty close.
Yeah.
So we're talking, folks, that this ship landed a half a block away if you take a block. Now, understand, she's in Vermont, in northern Vermont, and she's in the woods. I mean, she's out in the country. I know, I lived up there. I know where she about is when she had this. So three beings come out. What did they look like? Did you get a description of them?
When I first could see them, because I didn't have my glasses on. I do wear glasses, but I didn't have them on because it was really cold out. And if you wear glasses, when you're out in the cold, from going from hot to cold, your
Right,
glasses fog up.
right,
So,
right.
so I didn't have my glasses on, but I could see it looked like a glowing being coming out. Now
Hmm.
my camera picked them up as orange, but they were not orange. The color was actually blue, but it came out orange for some reason in my camera. But they were actually blue. Only saw the one figure at first, but then the figure kind of spread out. And as it got closer, and there was actually three tall, slender beings walking at me. And It was the being that I had been in contact with before, with two other beings, a female and a younger male. I filmed them up until they shut my camera off. They were making my camera like undulate, and then they shut my camera down, so I couldn't film anymore. So I put my phone away. I wasn't even sure if I was supposed to be filming them, and I kept saying it too in the video. I'm not sure if I'm even supposed to be filming them, but
Right.
something was going weird with my phone, and
Yeah.
then the next thing I know, they were like right in front of me, and they took me on their ship last night.
Okay, so let me slow you down. This is getting interesting, folks. So they came out of a ship. They landed and
Yep.
about like a half a block away, if we use the word half a block. They came physically up for people that are watching this show. They came right up to you. Did they come if they came up to you? Were they like well, there's no way around it. They came up to you. How close to you were they standing when
I
they came
was
up to you?
I was standing on my porch, and they walked right up to the edge of my porch, and
Really?
they were on my porch is it has, let me see, my porch to get into my place has 6 steps. So 6 steps high, and the being's shoulder were, and then you got to think, there's a a guardrail around my porch, and the being was probably like 8 foot, 7 foot, 8 foot tall, and his shoulders were going past my guardrail. So
Oh my
he
God.
was pretty tall. They're
And
really
how
tall.
about how about the woman? Was she tall too?
Yes, she was, but the younger male, if I were to guess, like him in human age, he was probably 19, 20, and he
Okay.
was tall, but he wasn't as tall as the other two were.
Okay. Okay. Just give perspective to our viewers. This is a really all this stuff we're talking about is based on her account of what she's going through. So now they finally come to the point where last night they say, okay, we're going to land our ship. Three of them come out of the ship and they come right up to her. And then she proceeds to. Now, did they walk you back to the ship? How did that work?
When they were walking to me, this is the weird thing, and I like memory check this because I wanted to tell you about it. When they were walking to me, they weren't actually touching the ground. They were like gliding across it, and at first
Gliding.
they were like slow motion, and then like quick, like almost as quick as thought, they were like right in front of me. It was weird because at first they
Interesting.
were walking slow, arm movements, everything was like slow motion, and then poof, they were right there in front of me, and it kind of threw me back a little bit. And I grabbed my phone and I put my phone at my side because I was wearing like yoga pants, like pajama, they're sweatpants. I always call them sweatpants, but they had these side pockets in them, and I snatched my phone and threw it in my pocket real quick because I didn't want them taking
Yeah.
my phone. I was like,
Yeah.
"Don't take my phone! No, I just got you guys on video." So
Space beings take your phone. That'd be funny.
right. So I put my phone in my side pocket, and he looked at me, he nodded. I knew who he was, and he knew who I was. I looked at her, and she smiled, and I looked at him, and he just had this, I don't know, he had this like a goofy look on his face, but he smiled at me and nodded as well, and he reached his hand out, and I physically at that point, here's the strange part, is when he reached his hand out, I went right through that guardrail, and it didn't like do anything to me. I didn't have to walk around it. I didn't have to go over it. I went right through it when he put his hand in my
So,
hand in
so,
his.
so let me stop you about this. This is interesting. You're watching Encounters, the late night spiritual UFO talk show, and my guest. I want to thank people, for their gifts. Don't forget to gift the commander for this show that we're doing as well, folks. And I want to thank you for doing that. Everybody sending her gifts for what she is explaining. Now, the thing is, this is interesting. So the tall being hold your hand. They're like kind of floating, and then the guardrail's there. So as you're holding their hand, your molecular structure of your body is able to go right through the guardrail
Yep.
without even getting anything, and just go right through the guardrail as they're going through it. You don't even feel the effects of the guardrail, correct?
No, and that's why I was like, whoa, because I that was something I like tried to check in the back of my memory too, because I wanted to tell you about that, the slow motion walk, and then them being there
Yeah,
like within seconds. Because if they had actually kept walking the way they were walking to me, it probably would have taken them 20 minutes to get from the end of my property to where I was.
right,
Walking, because there was snow on the ground and whatnot they had to get through. And
right,
so anyways, they were there like within a blink of an eye, they were in front of me at that point. And then, when we acknowledged each other, and then he reached his hand out and I put my hand in his, at that point I just glided right through. And I knew that he wanted me to go with him, and I was okay with that. So I put my hand into his, and the next thing I know is I'm going through this guardrail, and I
right.
didn't feel like I was going through anything.
Wow,
And within seconds we were at the opening of the ship.
wow.
And then here's the kicker. As soon as I walked into the entranceway of the ship, I looked on either side because I was in disbelief that I was actually seeing me go into the ship this time. It wasn't me being beamed up and looking down at the ground, and then all of a sudden I'm in the ship. I'm actually
Right.
physically walking into this ship, and I looked on
Wow.
either side because I'm like, where's the rest of the ship? Because I'm only seeing an opening,
That's the rest
and
of
it's
the
just
ship. Yeah.
trees that are there. You can't see the ship, only the opening to it. It was weird. So we walk in, and it's like really bright when we're walking in. But as soon as
Okay.
I stepped into the ship, I wasn't in my regular clothes anymore. They had put me into one of their space uniforms.
You were in a spacesuit. I projected before you even said that. I said she's put into a space suit.
Yeah.
Interesting. Go ahead.
Okay, so now let me tell you about the spacesuit. The
Yeah, I want to hear about
spacesuit
that.
is like nothing you have ever felt before. I felt like I was naked, and I didn't feel like I had anything on. And I was really embarrassed because at first I thought they took my clothes away because I felt like I was naked, because I had my big fat fluffy robe on with these yoga pants because it was cold out. And all of a sudden I didn't have my robe on anymore. And I looked down, my shoes were gone. I'm just like, okay, where are my shoes at, people?
Right.
And then that's when I noticed that I had the suit on, and it felt like it was so lightweight. And I was like, hey, and I looked at him, I'm like, where are my clothes at? And I like kind of put my hands I crossed my arms over my breast because I thought at first I was naked. And
Right.
they looked at each other and they kind of laughed at me because I was
Yeah.
like protecting my breast. But I realized that was okay that I had a suit on, so I
Right.
relaxed my demeanor. And then they said, they explained to me, the woman actually explained it to me, that that they had put me in the suit because our even though their oxygen is somewhat similar to ours, it's not quite
Yeah.
our oxygen,
Yeah.
and I
Their
might
oxygen
have
is different.
labored breathing and their oxygen. So they wanted to make sure that I had one of their suits on because these suits allow you to breathe in their oxygen.
Ah, okay.
And,
So their
wait,
suits.
wait, there's more with
Go
the
ahead.
suit. Let me finish.
Yeah. Go
Okay,
ahead.
these suits also come equipped with um, communication devices in them. So if you don't speak the being's language, it will translate for you. These suits do.
Really? So let's
Really.
say they go to any planet in the universe.
Mm-hmm.
You have in the suit is a translator that can speak any language and translate the language. That's very
Yep.
interesting.
And that includes the human languages.
And a human language, which is could
Yep.
be anything,
So
could
if
be
you don't
French,
speak
English.
Japanese, you'll hear it as English. If you speak Japanese, you'll hear them speaking Japanese to you. Crazy,
Wow,
right?
that's amazing. That's
So
amazing. Go ahead.
so these suits, and then so I was so nervous that I not nervous, scared, but I guess overexcited because
Hmm.
I this was happening and I was really really excited, but all of a sudden I realized I had to pee really bad because I had
Oh
just come
no.
out from the cold into this thing and I'm just like going, oh my God, I gotta pee.
So
And
what
I'm
they tell you? Do they have bathrooms on the ship?
I asked, and the lady looked at me, and she's like, they don't have a need for such things, and she said, and I was like, well, how do you get rid of your humans get rid of
Right,
their body fluids, and she's like,
right,
she explained to me that you just go to the bathroom and the suit takes care of it for you. And I'm like, so I really have to go to the bathroom. And she didn't even know what the word bathroom meant. I said,
right. Of
I
course,
have
that's a
to
human
relieve
thing.
myself.
Oh
And
my
then
gosh.
she knew what I was talking about. I had to pee. Basically, I had to pee. And so she says that you just go and the suit takes care of it for you. So I'm like, oh, the
So,
suit's like the super suit. Like, so
so
of course, I did, and it just whoop, it was gone. It just sucked
it
it
was
right up. So
just disappeared. So
yeah.
they're so advanced that you can't even don't even try to figure that out. I
I'm
mean,
not, but
obviously,
I had to share that with you guys because it was funny because I was like I didn't know how to tell these people I really had to pee. I was so excited.
I think
And I didn't know
I
what
think
to
we
do with
all
it. And
need
I'm just like going, I asked her for the
have
bathroom. I said, do you have a restroom? And she's like, she looked at
a
me weird, like
restroom.
she thought I was asking for a bed.
Hey, right. Do you have a restroom on your spaceship? I have to go to the
Yes.
bathroom. And then she says to you, our spacesuit will take care of it.
Yeah.
And then you go to the bathroom in the suit and it's
Yep.
gone.
Yep.
So it sounds like the molecular structure is decomposed somehow
Through the
by the
suit.
suit. Yeah,
Yeah.
interesting.
So,
Well, hey,
so if anybody ever wants to know if you can go to the bathroom in a spacesuit, you can.
that's right. There you go. If you have one of their spacesuits.
So, so anyways,
Interesting. So now you're on the ship wearing the suit.
right.
And what was the ship like inside when you were in there? Did they give
Oh,
you a tour?
Commander, this ship was different than the other one that they had brought me on. This ship was actually one that they live in. Okay, this was one of their live-on ships. So, when I was brought there, my family was there, and my space family was there, and your space family was there, and your father is quite handsome, by the way. Yes, he is.
Oh, you saw my father on the spaceship?
I did. He was quite handsome. He looked like he was in his like maybe late 20s.
Really?
He looked really good. Yeah, he was very handsome though.
What
They
did he look
all were
like, by
very
the
good
way?
looking.
Yeah. What did he look like? Do you know? I mean, well,
Um
obviously you were on the ship.
yeah, no, he was tall. He had blonde hair too. Kind
Hmm.
of long. And well, I wouldn't say so much blonde. I want to say like a light brownish blonde. You know
Brownish
what I
blonde.
mean?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay, so not like the white
Thank
blonde.
you, Chesno.
Like a dirty
Chesno
blonde,
saying,
I guess, like brownish blonde.
Chesno saying, Commander comes from a long line of stud muffins.
He does. He does.
You can make me blush here, but go ahead.
Anyway, so our families are very good friends. Just so you know.
Mm.
And they took me for a tour of the ship. Commander, you have to see this ship. I can't wait till you get to see this ship. It's going to be the ship you're going to be traveling on. But this ship is amazing. It has these huge crystals. Okay, so they took me into this one space, and the space has these like huge giant like stalactite crystals, and
Hmm.
it has these like pockets in them, like there's like hollowed out pockets that have these fluids that they all interconnect, and they have these plants growing in them. It's like a plant room, but it's where they grow the
Huh.
vegetation that they eat. It's their farm.
Oh, okay.
And it's like this
So,
huge space. It does, I guess, like when you're walking in it, you're just gonna think it's this regular sized room. Oh no, no, no. Every structured room is humongous. But this thing was like walking into a crystal cave. It was
wow.
beautiful. But
So
they
are they vegetarians
Yes,
primarily? Okay,
yes,
they're
they are. They
vegetarians.
do
Okay,
not eat meat at all. But
okay.
but let me tell you, they're a lot of their food is very similar to ours, except for like maybe shape and size. But it's almost
Hmm.
like the same stuff we eat. It's actually really cool. They have different names for it. I mean, they don't eat everything the same as us because, they're from
Right.
space. They probably have cooler
Di-
stuff than, but some of the stuff I
different things.
saw.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff I saw was very cool. They have these one thing called pearls. That's what they call them, pearls.
Hmm.
Okay. And these pearls are baby miniature grape-sized watermelons. This
Really?
is like one thing I had to tell you about
Well,
because you
I'm into
grow
watermelons. I
watermelons.
grow them. So yeah.
That's why you grow them the way you do because you grew them off planet. When you were up in Mars, that was your jam, is you like to do the plants and stuff too.
Yeah.
You spent a lot.
I
Your
grew
dad said you
plants.
spent a
Yeah.
lot of time up in their garden. They call it the garden, in the garden area.
Yeah.
But
I
that's
grow watermelons. Yeah. On
yes,
Mars, I did that.
but they're tiny. They're like tiny bite-sized watermelons, and they're sweet. I got to try one. They're
Yeah.
really sweet. So
Interesting.
think of a watermelon at its peak sweetness, and every single one of them tastes like that. They
Wow.
look like miniature grape watermelons. They're really cool.
Oh, I think we'd all like to try one of those, right? Everybody, would you like to try a mini watermelon that small, like a grape? I would.
And they grow off these like vines that were like hanging off the side. They were like growing out of this cup with this fluid in it, and they were like just growing out the side. It's actually really pretty just to look at, but
Wow.
they were growing out the side, and they just pluck them as they want to eat them. It's like no big deal.
That,
Everybody shares, and
that's a good thing, you know?
it
Yeah.
really was. It was pretty cool. Like they don't have like some people have like designated jobs, but not they don't have to do those jobs. They do because they enjoy it, and because
Right.
it
They do
makes
what they
them
want. They
happy.
pretty much they do what they want to do, pretty much. They
Yeah.
don't live like we live. They
Yeah.
do what they want to do, and they have the joy of life to do what they want
Yes.
to do. They're very, very loving, and they have the joy of life, which is absolutely important, you know?
And so they when they eat, they just go into these rooms, and they have like these they almost look like mushrooms, like tables, and
Yeah.
they all just sit down. They're like big ones and little ones, and they all just sit down, and they just all share meals together. And it's like and they don't have servants or anything like that, but if you want to get up and serve everybody that time, then that's what you do, and it's usually like the men that serve, though. It's not, how you would think it would be the opposite way, like the women would be the ones serving people. It wasn't
Right.
like that. It was the men that were actually serving people.
Oh,
And
interesting.
so they sat down, and they ate, and I got to try the pearls, and it was really sweet. But I wanted to see, the rest of the ship. I was really excited, and they had some pretty interesting stuff. Now, I got to see where they control the ship, and they showed me like what you used to do. As far as communications, like I got to see like something like what you used to do. They've come along a little bit more since the last time you were up there, but it's
Right.
basically the same setup. This is what they were explaining to me, and it's cool because like their ships are controlled with crystals.
Crystals. That's what I talked about.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's all
I see.
crystals.
I didn't know that, but it was like they're controlled by these, excuse me, by these crystals, and also speaking of crystals, um, now you know how I've heard people that have had encounters with some of these types of beings say that they keep finding like crystals places, and people are saying, oh, these beings are leaving these crystals for you, and they're leaving them there for specific reasons. Well, that's not so much the case. I was watching one of them, like I was just standing there while they were talking to me, and I was like facing one of them, like there was three of them standing in front of me, and it was a bunch more like along the side and a few more behind me. They were like
Hmm.
guiding me through anyways. So I just kind of stared at one of them for a second, and I kept seeing something fall out the bottom of their uniform, and I'm looking, and I'm like, what is that? And I kept seeing something like
And well,
every once in a while something fall, and
right,
their skin, because remember I told you their skin has that like shiny luminous, like almost
luminous light.
sparkly
Yeah.
glow. Well, their skin actually sheds these crystals.
Really? So the skin, let me stop you there. So
Okay.
we're talking to April in Vermont, who is a real contactee. No, this is not dream state stuff. This is real. Last night she was taken, for new people coming on here, onto a spaceship by three humanoid space beings, and that had floated towards her, got in front, right actually to her, took her onto the ship, went through a guardrail physically without even any problem, went on the ship, and they started showing her how they grow vegetables on the ship, how they are vegetarians. These are vegetarians. They don't eat any meat. They're vegetarians. And when they shed skin, it becomes crystallized. Is that what you're saying?
Yes. So these crystals that some people are finding, because some contactees have said that they have found like crystals on the floor, crystals in weird spots, and saying that thinking that these beings have left them for specific reasons, and they do. Like they sometimes they keep them, and sometimes they wear them for jewelry, like around their necks. Like say that their mate had shed something like really pretty and they really liked it, they'll wear it as a piece of jewelry, if
Interesting.
they so want, but it's usually only from their mate that they'll wear a piece of jewelry, because I
Right.
asked the woman if you know and she was explaining to me that if they do, it's from their mate, that they'll wear this piece of jewelry if they're so
Wow.
inclined to do, but
Yeah.
they physically like shed these little stones off their skin, and they're really pretty. They're like shiny little crystals, um, that they shed
Did
off their
they
skin.
people are asking, did they give you one of those crystals when you came back?
I knew that I was gonna be asked that. I wanted to, but I didn't want to sound like I was being a greedy, but you know what I mean? Like they were brought me there for contact and information, and I didn't want to sound
Right.
like I was greedy because I already asked if I could eat one of their pearls because I really wanted to try one. So
Did
I
you
didn't
did
want
you
to
get
ask for something that they
did
just shed it off their body. I didn't want to be
no, that's kind
rude.
of, yeah, that would be. So did you get to eat one of those little pearl watermelons?
I did. I did.
And and it
I
was
had
really
to tell
good.
you about it. That's why I was like so excited, because they're really, really sweet. Like I said, just think of a watermelon on its peak sweetness and how juicy it is. And that's the flavor that you get from just one of these little tiny pearls, that they all taste like that. And
Yeah.
oh my God, they are so sweet and good. It's like you're getting a burst of fruit juice in your mouth all at once. They're really
I'm
good.
getting hungry just thinking about those particular watermelons.
Listen,
Now I, you know,
I went I had to go to the store today and get grapes just because of that
because
last
of the,
night. I was so mad
Lisa
because they were too sweet.
Liz says she wants one. Tiffany wants one too. A couple people want one of those. Well, we'll see what happens. I'd certainly like to grow some of those. I don't know how they'd grow in my garden, but we can certainly try if I ever get a seed.
Okay, and so I also found something else out too. This is what the younger being was telling me, that they often will come to Earth and they have a relationship with the bees, and the some of the insects, but they will come and harvest honey from the Earth for their ships. for
Really?
their living ships, the ones that they live on. Yes.
The living, yes. And what do they use the honey for? The food, or what
Yes.
do they use the
Yes.
honey for? The food.
Because
So,
they don't have bees up in their planet, and they
oh,
really like the honey, so they'll come
ah,
down. And this is the funny thing though, is because I have a neighbor, and I've often seen lights flashing around over there, but I thought it was my fairy beings just messing around over there, but it wasn't. It was them. They were harvesting honey from my neighbor's bees.
wow, interesting.
Yeah.
So the vegetarians, the harvest honey from
From
bee
Earth.
honey and from Earth, because
Mhm.
it's very unique to our planet, bee honey,
Yeah.
and they take the honey and use it with their food. That's very
Yes.
interesting. Well, it's 1:07 in the morning. I'd like to go on, but man, I need to. I wish tomorrow was a weekend day, but we'll have to continue more of this story, and this is going to be ongoing. I'm sure you'll be videotaping. Do you think you're going to have more contact with them as you did in the
Yes.
story that you just told? Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
I am.
Well, and if
Yeah.
you have any more video, I know you're going to document your video, so keep tuned to Friends with Furries page. She'll be documenting the contacts as they continue. And if they do feel comfortable being videotaped, there might be a time when they are willing to at least get you on, have you videotape them. But I guess the energy field is way different. Our vibrational frequencies
Yeah, I
might
asked
distort.
them. I did ask about that because I really wanted to get documentation of them for you. Um,
Right.
but it was specifically for you that I asked, and but they said that our technology will not work inside of their ships.
Okay. All right.
That's one thing that they did say. Our technology will not work inside of their ships, and until contact has happened, they said
Yeah.
that. Well, but yeah,
Yeah.
so they that anyway. So our phones will not work on their ships. So like if I
Well, if
wanted to
they,
call home, I couldn't.
yeah.
I'd have to use their type of communications, which would be telepathy or through a dream state with somebody.
Right. Now, do they know that we're having in April in Connecticut, we're having some contact
They're
events, two of
aware.
which
Yes,
they're
they
very
do.
aware. Okay.
Oh yes,
So
they are.
one's going to be in an apple orchard field. So we're going to have our whole team there. And of course, you're invited. And then we're having the big event with Grace in Ledyard, Connecticut, on a very wooded area. So they're probably where both locations, correct?
Yeah, I didn't ask them about Grace, but I did ask them about yours. And they are very aware about your thing that you have going on the 13th in the apple orchard. They know. They do
They
know.
know. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
I don't want to ruin
Well,
the
we'll just
surprise. I'll tell you
I don't
about
want to ruin anything either.
the
I don't ever like suppose anything's going to happen. The good news with me is I'm very level-headed, which is, believe it or not, being so spaced out all these years, I am kind of level-headed, and that's a good thing. I don't just go off the deep end or anything. So, uh, April 13th I'll be making a video soon. April 13th in the Apple Orchard in Middlefield at Lyman's Apple Orchard will be holding a CE5 event, which we were planning, and we'll have our coordinators there. Everybody will be there. We have, again, if people come, I'm sure some of the local folks in our group will have accommodations for you. They can put you up in their house, bring a sleeping bag or whatever. But I'll get more into that as we get close to April.
Yeah.
And that's going to be the 13th of April. Yes, Tracy will be going live at 8 o'clock, April 13th. I'll have more information. I'll ping together a video soon, probably mid-March, and I'll put a video here on TikTok so people can see it. Alicia, absolutely without a question. So I think it's time for the show to end for tonight. I want to thank our guest from Chicago earlier tonight who shared her sighting. I want to thank Friends with Furries, April, for sharing her contactee experience the other night with 3 humanoid space people that actually took her on a spaceship. And you're not going to hear this on CNN News or Fox or News Nation or anything. You're going to hear it here on the #1 spiritual UFO talk show on TikTok and on social media. So everybody, all of you, if I have not acknowledged you just in general, universally, I love all of you. I acknowledge everybody here. And I hope you've enjoyed the show tonight. Please gift me. I've seen not too many gifts going here before we end the show. We like to get some gifts going here to the commander. So we're going to have a gifting moment for people. We have 190 people here. Those who have TikTok coins, you know what to do with them.
Kit
Those that
Kat's
don't worry
going.
about
Kit
it.
Kat's going.
Kit Kat's going to beat everybody out. Liz
Yeah, she's
is
the
going to,
Rose Queen.
she's the Rose Queen.
Bow
We
to the
got,
Queen.
Kit Kat. Kit Kat's got all kinds of stuff going here. I can't keep up. Hand hearts, roses. Serenity's got something for you. Friendship with Fairies.
Thank you.
I haven't seen any galaxies there for me. Where's the galaxies, folks? I think I'm gonna cry if I don't get any
Oh, give the
galaxies.
commander a
Don't make me cry. I
galaxy.
don't want to cry. Just get some get some galaxies. Oh, come on now, galaxies. Where are you? Yeah. But if we get some galaxies, that would be great. You know, if you have 1,000 TikTok coins, you can do galaxies. Did you know that? Some of you have a multitude of TikTok coins. I bet some of you have 20,000 TikTok coins. Has Serenity. Thank you for the rose. That's a beautiful thing. Serenity 7. Thank you so much. Come on, folks. Where's all those supportive gifts to help us here? You know, I even have the galaxies. I've got the galaxy set up. I pinned it. I haven't got any galaxies tonight. Have I? No, I don't think
Commander,
so.
maybe if you at least get 2 galaxies, at least 2, you know,
2.
maybe you could sing us a song.
Yes, if I get 2 galaxies, I will sing a song.
Oh, there's
That's
number 1.
Number 1
Come on, let's
galaxy.
get a song from the commander. We need one more. We
One more
we need
galaxy.
4 more, but
We need 4
one
more.
more for a song.
Hey, Liz, thank you for the roses. And anyone who wants to give us one more galaxy out there, I will sing a song. I make up a song. I always make up these spacey songs. I don't know how I can do it, but I do it. And I will sing for you on my show if I get another galaxy. We're at 172 viewers all over the world on Encounters. We thank you so much for being here. Your support means a lot to me, and I appreciate it. Oh, that's okay, Karen 82. All is good. But the question, if you want to do a whale or you want to do that lighting thing where the lights come over the screen with the
I would
lights
love
on
to see the whale. You know, the whale's my favorite.
the whale, you can choose any gift you want for me.
I haven't really looked at the gifts, and I was looking, and they have this really cool
Karen 82. All right. Just because that happened, I'm going to do a song.
Oh.
Thank you, Karen 82. I'm going to do a song for you guys.
Thank you, Karen.
David, thank you for the fire. So here's my song. I have no idea. I'm going to close my eyes because that's how I create my songs. I can sing a song with my eyes closed. It seems to come out better. So let me see what this is going to, I have no idea what I'm going to say.
You got to sing something about the pearls, the watermelon pearls.
Let's see. Whatever comes out will be what it's supposed to be. Give me a moment. We meet again. You are my friend from space. We meet again. You are my friend from so far away. It's been so long to sing a song for you tonight. With the light in the light of the starry shines bright. We've been away, so far away, so far away. So long, so long, so long, we're back today. I remember you, my friend, from long ago. We traveled in spaceships here and there, and everywhere we went, we saw the light appear. The light of love, the light of Christed light, universal. We come from many worlds. We've been here before. We love you, we love you, we love you even more. We're your star family. Your star family is here. Your star family is here. We love you, we love all of you, we know we do. We love all of you. Don't fear, be clear. Don't fear because we're here. We come in peace, and that is why we're here. We're your star family. We will always be here for you. That's the song.
That was beautiful. Come on, somebody. That deserved a galaxy. That was beautiful.
That's my song. I won't even remember the words. It's being recorded for my YouTube. I'll put this on YouTube. That's the song I just created. I don't even remember what I sang.
Commander, that was beautiful. That really was. That was very touching.
You know,
I don't
I
know where
don't
you
even
come
remember
up
the
with these
words.
songs. I don't know
I don't
where
even
you get
remember.
them.
You know, I just don't remember the words anymore. I just sang the song with my eyes closed, and that's all I know is I sang the song. I don't even remember the lyrics. I don't even remember anything. All I know is that this is going to be on my YouTube recording of the show. It'll be towards the end of the show. You'll be able to hear me sing it. I'll have to listen to it. You know?
One day we'll
So
have
if
to
you,
go through and collect all these songs up and make a little thing with them.
yeah, yeah. Tiffany says it came from my heart. That's true. This guy Paul says it was pathetic. I think we must actually take the person Paul who just said the song was pathetic and send that person out into the universe. I just did a beautiful thing. Paul, you're out in the universe. Bye bye.
That
We think
absolutely
that
was not pathetic. That was an absolutely beautiful song, and Paul can go
yeah,
into outer space.
he went into outer space. I just sent that person out. He will never see the likes of the commander again. Yes, basically SML says basically Star Family saying I love you. That's right.
These
Yeah, no
songs
problem.
come from the
TikTok.
commander's
We took that.
heart.
And I would like some more gifts. I sang that song. It's at least worth another galaxy, at least one more galaxy somewhere. I have one of 5 galaxies tonight. So do we have one last galaxy before we go to sleep? Oh, we got Friends and Fairies sent me a hanging light. Thank you, friends.
Love you, Commander.
Thank you. Well, I'm going to call it a night, folks. I really appreciate everybody here. We'll be on tomorrow night with another exciting show with many more interviews. Serenity 7, thank you for your roses. I want to thank everybody, whether it's a little gift or a big gift, doesn't matter. The fact that we're all here together, whether it's no gift, it doesn't matter. Conspiracy, thank you for the 2 roses. Also, we appreciate that very much. Conspiracy Eyes. Everybody, we love you all, and you all have a good night. Kit Kat, excuse me, Paper Crane. I haven't seen those in a while. Hey, Kit Kat, thank you for the crane. And who do we have here? James Killett. James, if you have something to share regarding the UFO ET stuff, we'll be on tomorrow night with another edition of Encounters at 11. So, Jackie F., thank you for the Tater in Love. That's a good thing. Tater in Love. I like that little guy. We just love you all, man. You guys all take care. It's time for me to shut down my consciousness for the night and go off planet. Shelly Stardust, it's good to see you, everybody. Have a great night, all right? Have a good week. Be good to each other and keep your vibrations high. Take care, everybody. Hey, April, take care. Have a good night.
Good night, Commander.
I'm going to try to disconnect. Here we go.